everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Narayan Rao Kaur. In this video, we are going to explain degrees of or types of elasticity of supply. Types or degrees of elasticity of supply. First of all, what is the meaning of elasticity of supply? Elasticity of supply is defined as the responsiveness of a quantity supply of a good for a given change in the price of a commodity. In other words, percentage change in the quantity supplied divided by percentage change in the price. This is known as elasticity of supply. Marshall has suggested one formula: elasticity of supply is equal to percentage change in quantity supplied divided by percentage change in price. So, types or degrees of elasticity of supply. Elasticity of supply is 5 types. Number 1, perfectly inelastic supply. Perfectly inelastic supply. It is also called zero elastic supply. Zero elastic supply. So, irrespective of change in price, the quantity supply of a good remains unchanged or constant. So, price increases, price decreases, quantity supply does not respond. Quantity supply does not change. That means quantity supply is unaffected by change in price. Coefficient ES is equal to 0. So supply curve is parallel to y-axis or vertical, parallel to y-axis or vertical. Examples are perishable goods. If we observe the diagram, so draw L shape, mark YOX, price is measured on y-axis, quantity supply is measured on x-axis. This is the supply curve. So original price OP, price decreases, price increases, quantity supply does not respond. So quantity supply is unaffected. Therefore, coefficient of supply ES is equal to 0. This is the first case. 2. Relatively inelastic supply. Relatively inelastic supply or less elastic supply. Percentage change in quantity supply is less than percentage change in price. Coefficient is ES less than 1. Shape of the supply curve is slopes upwards originating from x-axis, that is called steeper. That means quantity supply is not much responsive to change in price. This is known as relatively inelastic supply. If we observe the diagram, draw L shape, mark YOX, price is measured on y-axis, quantity supply is measured on x-axis. OP price, OQ quantity. Price increases from OP to OP1. Quantity supply increase from OQ to OQ1. So delta P is more, delta Q is less. So delta Q is less than delta P. Coefficient is ES less than 1. That is called relatively inelastic supply. Third one is unit elastic supply. Unit elastic supply means percentage change in quantity supply is equal to percentage change in price, that is equal to 1. ES is equal to 1. This line is called dividing line. This line is called dividing line. supply curve slopes upwards originating from origin point. So originating from origin point. So price increases, quantity supply also increases in same proportion. If we observe the diagram, so draw L shape, mark YOX, price is measured on Y-axis, quantity supply is measured on X-axis. OP price, increased price OP to OP1, original quantity OQ, new quantity OQ to OQ1. So delta P is equal to delta Q. Delta Q is equal to delta P, that is equal to 1. That is called unit elastic supply. ES is equal to 1. Next, fourth one, relatively elastic supply. So relatively elastic supply means percentage change in quantity supply greater than percentage change in price. That means ES greater than 1. Supply curve is slopes upwards originating from y-axis. Originating from y-axis. So, if we observe the diagram, draw L shape, mark YOX. So, OP price, O quantity, new price is OP1, new quantity is OQ1, delta P is less, delta Q is more. That means delta Q greater than delta P. That is called ES greater than 1. That is called relatively elastic supply. Supply curve slopes upwards originating from y-axis. Next, fifth one, perfectly elastic supply. Perfectly elastic supply. So, change in quantity supply even without a change in price, and elasticity of supply approaches to infinity. In other words, nothing is supplied at lower price. Nothing is supplied at lower price, or an infinitesimally small change in price results in an infinitely large change in quantity supplied. Ante small change in price leads to so large change in quantity supplied. That is called perfectly elastic supply. Coefficient is equal to infinity. Supply curve is parallel to x-axis. If we observe this diagram, draw L shape, mark YOX, price is measured on y-axis, quantity supply is measured on x-axis, price is OP, so OQ quantity, OQ1 quantity. So no change in price. So quantity supply approaches to infinity. So nothing is supplied at lower price, or infinitesimally small change in price leads to infinitely large change in quantity supplied. This is called perfectly elastic supply. Supply curve is parallel to x-axis or horizontal to x-axis. ES is equal to infinite. This is the information regarding types or degrees of elasticity of supply. So thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe and comment.